everybody, welcome back to another dollar store tool review. As you can see, today we have a quote magnetic pickup tool unquote by Wellson. Wellson is one of the more common brand names you find in the dollar store. I think I paid $1.25 for this. They're fairly cheap. I know nowadays some dollar stores they go up to $3, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You can see surrounding the tool I have a series of metallic objects. I'm going to move the tool slightly, bring it into view, going to bring it up. As you can see, it kind of looks like a pen. Easy to take out of the packaging. And it's got a little clip on it so that if you want to, you can hook it to your shirt, your belt loop, whatever. It extends out. It gives you about 2.5 feet. And the tip has a little magnet inserted into it. So I'm going to widen out the shot and see just how much I can show you of it. So there, it's pretty long. It's about 2.5 feet. So I'm going to close it back up a little bit. Now, I paid $1.25 for this. It's very useful. You know, you're working on something, you have metal, you drop a nut or a bolt or a screw or something like that. Look at this. This bolt, it would be something you'd put a car bumper on with. It's fairly heavy. You drop your keys, and I want to show you this. It picks up the keys very easily, and you'll note that it's not hanging on to like the flat surface of a key. It'll do that too. I have so much metal here, but it's actually strong enough to stick just to the very minimal surface that the actual rounded ring of the key provides for it to attach to. Now I'm going to go and pick up the coins. Canadian $2 coin, Canadian $1 coin, Canadian quarter, Canadian dime. Why is it not sticking to this nickel? That's interesting. Doesn't stick to a nickel, doesn't stick to a penny. I always thought they stuck to nickels. I thought pennies were the only one that weren't magnetic. Now I picked that penny out on purpose because it's a 2004 penny. I know that in Canada here we changed the composition of our pennies in the early 80s. The older ones everybody knows you can't stick a magnet to. I've had some people tell me they thought that the newer ones after, I think it was 82, you could. Well, this is 2004 here and it can't stick to that. Now here's something a little bit bigger I want to show you. This is a 10-inch vice grip. Grabbing to the grab to the body. Now it doesn't have a lot of surface area, but look at that, it picked it up. I'm not entirely sure exactly what this weighs. Probably roughly a pound. Hard for me to say in specific. I will state for specifics though. Here we have here, I don't know if the camera's going to focus on it, but it's a 16-ounce claw hammer. Now I've tried to pick this up, and it will, but only if you're on a very flat surface of it. You can't be on the round. You have to get as much of the magnet in contact with it as you can, and even then, it just barely grips. It will not take much movement from me to shake this loose. It takes almost no effort. So 16 ounces, which is a pound, or half roughly of a kilogram, which is a metric pound, if you will, is the upper limit of what you can hold with this. So if you've dropped that screw or that nut or that bolt or your keys down into a gap you can't reach, but also it has more uses than that. And like I said, it can lift 16 ounces, but what if you dropped your hammer and it bounces under the deck you're building or something like that? You could drag it along. It gives you an extra 2.5 feet of reach. And it can pull heavier because it's not lifting it off the ground. It can handle more than 1 pound. Let me get this off here. Interesting story. A friend of mine, he used to work for a cleaning service. They'd go into large companies and they'd clean, and he had a little tool like this, and he was telling me that he paid close to $10 for his. It was an elaborate one. It had a pen attachment and everything, all kinds of bells and whistles on it, he said. But it paid for itself in no time. A lot of people would use the vending machines in the business, and you know, he wouldn't try to use it to steal from the vending machine, but they drop a quarter and it rolls under the vending machine, And unless it stops only a few inches under, they're not getting that quarter back. So he'd go in sometimes and he'd take his little magnetic tool out and he'd slowly sweep back and forth under the vending machines, and eventually it paid for itself. Well, if you're only paying $1, $1.25, $1.50 for this, and you live in Canada where we have the metal, the magnetic metal, $1 and $2 coins, the loonie and the toonie, you pick up one toonie once that rolled under a vending machine at work or wherever you happen to be, this thing paid for itself. So and you can see the little magnetic end. I'm not sure if it's just the magnetism itself holding it into the metallic casing around, keeping it attached to the arm, or if it's got some kind of adhesive, some kind of glue or something in there. But whatever is holding the magnet in place is very strong. It's doing a very, very good job. So it's a solid product. I recommend it, and thank you for your time. So there you have it. This particular dollar store tool is just as effective as something you'd get from a hardware store. I deem this worthy of the toolbox. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.